Hello and welcome to It's Tea Time. I'm your host, Jonathan Sellers, and we're joined again by the Director of Athletics for Troy University, and that's John Hartwell. And John, we're going to start things off with the football team, and it was a rough weekend and not one that you were hoping to see, but I mean, you've come out and talked about it, and I'll let you talk about it again.
Sure, absolutely. And, a 38-35 loss to Abilene Christian. And first of all, certainly got to give credit to Abilene Christian. You know, they came in here and they were big, they were strong, they were fast, and, they beat us.
Right.
Give them credit because we had them down 21-7 at halftime, and they kept battling back. But, certainly that game and certainly our first three-game segment, 0-3, and there's some frustration and some soul searching and everything else. But as I've told the media the last couple of days, we can't go looking for external factors. What we've got to do as a coaching staff, as our football student athletes, as an administration, as everybody, as part of Trojan Nation, and certainly our coaching staff and players, hey, some soul searching, and it's not a time, to hang our heads and feel sorry for ourselves or anything else. It's time to, take all those energies and emotions and work at getting better and work at winning, and certainly, I would ask for the same thing from our fan base, and all of us want to win. Probably the person the sickest about all this is Larry Blakeney. He's certainly a guy that has had many years of success, and as I told one reporter yesterday, it's not like he woke up one day and all of a sudden didn't know how to coach. Right. Has won before, and we're confident we'll win again. So it's not where anybody associated with Troy wants to be right now, but hey, we've got to, if there's ever a time to lock arms and hang in there together, and certainly we've got our work cut out for us this weekend in Athens. But the good news is, hey, we got 8 conference games left. Through 3 weeks of the season, it does not look like there's this one dominant team. Right. And certainly, on the positive side, we've shown glimpses of, the ability to move the football, certainly to make some plays. I think we're +3 in the turnover margin for the year. But we've just got to put it all together. And as I said, Sanford Stadium against Georgia, and a running back named Gurley who's drawing comparisons to another Georgia running back named Walker, right. Who, oh, by the way, won a Heisman Trophy, and some think may be the greatest running back of all time. We'll have our work cut out for us, but we've got to show signs of improvement, certainly keeping our team together and focused, and get ready. We've got 9 games left to play.
All right, and as you said, just like Coach hasn't forgotten how to coach, these players know how to play, and there's some really talented athletes on this team. It's just really a matter of catching a break, which they haven't seemed to really catch.
It's catching a break and keeping a positive mindset and, persevering. Hey, football, you've heard the cliche before, football is a lot like the game of life. Every day is not a bed of roses, and when you get knocked down, you got to dust yourself off and get back up and get ready to fight the next play.
Well, let's talk about the soccer team. That's a team that is really on a roll and improved again over the weekend with a win over Jack State on Friday, and then the first ever program win over UAB.
Absolutely, and Coach Jason Hamilton and his staff and the young ladies on that team have done a tremendous job. And you talk about the power of positive thinking and belief, and he's really instilled a belief in them and a tenacity in them that they're going to win. Right. And they believe it. 6 wins in a row. And just a tremendous effort, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the fan support too. Both Friday afternoon and Sunday afternoon, tremendous fan support. Students, local folks, obviously parents, university personnel, tremendous support, and I look to see that continue throughout the season, and excited about they've got one more weekend. They play at South Alabama's tournament this weekend. Don't play South Alabama this weekend. That will wait until next weekend, but a couple of games this weekend. I think North Florida and Francis Marion to close out non-conference play. But again, a tremendous start for them, and I'm looking forward to getting into Sun Belt Conference play.
And you talked about the fan support, and that's something we noticed really at the end of the volleyball season last year was when the fans started trickling in and how much it impacted the game. Well, you're seeing the same thing with soccer, and it's just kind of neat to see it happen across all the sports.
Sure it is, and especially in our Olympic sports. You know, football has always drawn good attendance, but you know, seeing that enthusiasm and support spread to our Olympic teams, and certainly their performance on the field or on the court has a lot to do with it. And I think our Trojan Affinity program as well, that rewards our students for attendance at events has helped out too. But obviously, I think it helps our teams play better when we have attendance like that.
Well, and volleyball team, they had started off really well, hit their first snag over the weekend at Auburn, losing 3 matches, but they've got a chance to kind of regroup as they start conference play.
Yeah, still a good start. You know, they started 8-1, as you said, lost to Auburn, South Florida, and Winthrop this weekend up in Auburn. Not really the performance that I'm sure Sonny wanted, but hey, I know he'll have them ready to go. Home match tomorrow night, opening Sun Belt Conference play with Georgia Southern, one of the newcomers in the league, coming to town. So certainly encourage folks to come out to Trojan Arena 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. Another
team that really started off with a bang in the fall was the men's golf team, and they finished 4th at a tournament up in South Carolina.
Yeah, Coach Matt Terry and his team playing at Kiowa Island at the Ocean Course where the Ryder Cup was held several years ago. And, they finished 4th in that tournament. Actually, up until about 4 or 5 holes left to play, they were in 2nd place, faltered a little bit down the stretch, but still a very good finish. Beat Kentucky, beat Duke, beat several other teams that qualified for NCAA play last year. So a really good start. And I think both our men's and women's golf programs are going to have tremendous years.
Well, let's look ahead to some basketball. They're a few months away from starting, but their schedule, the men's schedule, was released last week, and some exciting news with a big home game against Ole Miss, and then a game down in Dothan that you're really trying to pump up.
Yeah, absolutely. And the men will have that game against Southeastern Conference foe Ole Miss here on, I believe it's Monday, November 17th, the 2nd home game of the year. Yeah. So certainly we want to fill Trojan Arena for that event. And actually this morning I was down in Dothan meeting with the mayor and the city commissioners and doing a press conference to talk about the December 11th game that our men's team will be playing down in the Dothan Civic Center. A lot of interest, a lot of buzz down there. And, it's an opportunity for us to go. I won't call it on the road because it's, certainly Dothan is a pillar of support for Trojan fans. But, it's a great opportunity because it's after exams are over. Our students won't be here on campus anyway, and it allows us to, to go to Dothan and hopefully sell it out. I think the place seats about 2,800 people. So, if we get 2,800 folks in there, which I think they will, they're really behind it and going to really promote the event. I think it'll be a great venue.
Now, that's something we've seen from the baseball team. They used to host a tournament down there. I mean, do we expect to see kind of more things like this in the local area, Montgomery, Dothan, with other teams?
Yeah, potentially so, and certainly the reception by the mayor and the commissioners in Dothan today, I told them we would certainly look at other sports going down there to play regular season events.
All right. Well, thank you. That's exciting news, and I know we got more to look forward to, so thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jonathan.
All right, stay tuned for more coming up on It's Tea Time. It's tea time, and now we're going to talk a little bit about the soccer team, who is on a big-time roll as they've now won 6 in a row, and that breaks the program record for wins in a row. And we're talking with the head coach, Jason Hamilton. And Jason, it's got to be a good feeling after those 2 wins to eclipse that mark, but 2 wins over in-state rivals as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we talked about it last week. Right. It was a goal of ours as the team to do well and win the games against the in-state competition. Right. And so far, that's 3 played and 3 wins. So, just really excited with the weekend. I think Friday was a good win, so we could kind of get past and stop talking about the new record and just focus on what we wanted to do. And then kind of focus on UAB, which we kind of slated as our toughest opponent of this year on our schedule. And just tremendous effort by the team in both games.
Well, and yeah, you told me last week that UAB was a tough opponent, and last year that was probably the worst loss for the soccer team. This year they came out and were able to defeat UAB, and that had to feel good for the team.
Oh, absolutely. I think it just it's definitely giving them a lot of confidence. We came out and unfortunately kind of gave them a gift 15 minutes in the game. So the character that it showed to be down 15 minutes in against a team that kind of beat you pretty bad the year before, to just continue to fight. We didn't play fantastic in the first half. We went in the locker room, made a couple adjustments, talked about things we needed to do, and then the message just was, hey, you're in this game. They haven't really created anything besides the chance that we gave them, and we knew if we could just win that second half, that we were going to win the game. So we thought, hey, win the second half 1-0, and even if it goes into overtime, we'll get them. And then we got a goal late there in the game to take the win. So I was really proud of them, and just it was a big test of character to do that against such a tough opponent.
Now, how high is the confidence of the team right now? I know normally winning one, you kind of build that confidence, but as you keep on winning, it keeps on building and building.
Oh, absolutely. I think in all sports, winning's contagious,
right.
And on the opposite side, losing's contagious. So it's something that we want to keep rolling with. But we met as they had yesterday off, they got a day to rest. We met this morning, and that was kind of our message and our talk was, let's be confident, but let's not be complacent,
right.
Because we're going into a weekend where we should have some success, and we don't want to let one of these games slip away. Don't need to think about records anymore. We don't need to think about anything else. It's just a matter of going out and getting better and improving in these next 2 games before we get into conference play. So that was kind of our message is, hey, everything's great. We're all on a high, but let's make sure we're still continuing to get better and not settle for where we're at,
right.
And push to get better.
Well, let's talk about those games this weekend. You're heading down to South Alabama for a tournament held by South Alabama. You won't be facing the Jags. You're going to face Francis Marion and then North Florida. What do you know about those teams?
So I mean, two teams I think are very well coached. I know both those coaches personally. Francis Marion, they've had some tough games, and like I said, losing can be contagious, and they've had some rough ones where they've lost at the end of the game. So those are teams that you're always worried about playing. They're right. Coming in and haven't had success lately, but at any time they could find it, and you don't want to be against you. So that's just a game on Friday. We have to come out strong, and when we're playing the way we are, and a team's playing like that, you get an early goal, and it's going to deflate them pretty
right.
quickly. So that's kind of going to be our message for the team is, hey, go out, get after them, and the game should be in our hands. So but it's got to be a game that we're prepared for. So we'll spend the next couple of days getting ready for them, going over the scouting reports and talking to some of the teams that they've played. And then Sunday's going to be an extremely tough game. Their brand new head coach, kind of same time as I came here. Mm-hmm. Robin's an excellent coach, another SEC assistant. So she does a great job, and they're going to find their own any day.
Right.
And again, that's something that worries you as a coach, knowing that they're doing a lot of good things from the opponents that I've talked to, and at any moment they're gonna click and put things together. So we just have to be prepared, and we have to not look at their record, because they're a right. much better team than their record shows. Right. And we're going to be prepared, and that's all we can do.
Well, this weekend also gives you a chance to kind of scout South Alabama, because not only will you be facing them as your first conference opponent, it'll also give you a chance to kind of scout Mobile, because you're going to be going there for the Sun Belt tournament later in this year.
Yeah, absolutely. It couldn't work out any better. We get to go there, play 2 games this weekend mm-hmm. on their field, get used to it, find where a place that we're going to stay right. each time, get used to some restaurants, kind of get a little routine.
Right.
Then we'll go back down there next weekend for our first conference game on Friday the 26th. We're actually going to try and bring some fans with
right.
us. So we're going to take a fan bus. The SGA and athletics, we're going to team up and see if we can get a busload of fans on there, help support that first conference game. So it'd be good to play them on that field as well, and then get back down there at the end of the season for the conference tournament, where we'll hopefully be comfortable playing down there by then and be able to make a run into the end.
Well, just a quick little note, just give us some more information on that fan bus. I know you're trying to encourage anybody to come.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to leave at 4 o'clock on Friday the 26th, so it should give people time to get to class or work.
Right.
Staff, students, anyone's encouraged to come. It's free to everybody. Whoever wants to sign up can come down there. It's going to leave at 4 o'clock. The game's at 7. Okay. Then hopefully get everybody home by 11:30, midnight at the latest. Just come support us in our first conference game, right. And hopefully we start off the conference with a win on a hot streak still.
Well, that's a great opportunity, and hopefully you'll have a lot of people come out and go down to Mobile to cheer you on. So.
Thank you.
All right, so stay tuned for more coming up on It's Tea Time. Now on It's Tea Time, we're going to take a look at the cross-country team who was back in action over the weekend with the head coach of that program, and that's Elliott Blount. And Coach, you are back in Mobile over the weekend, this time around the campus of South Alabama for another competition. And what did you think about your teams over the weekend?
I thought the women competed very well. I think people that we raced back in August did very well, stepped up and kind of improved on their competitiveness, which is all I was asking for and hoping to see. Julia ran very well, was the 8th collegiate finisher. The men's side, we saw some flashes of life. Still got a ways to go as far as getting competitive, but all in all, I think we took a baby step, forward.
Now, wasn't this the course that's going to be run for the Sun Belt Conference Championships?
Actually, it's not this. It was the first course we ran on down at USS Alabama. So it was a little bit different, pretty much the same as being flat.
Right.
So it was good preparation. Like I said, I think the kids definitely did step up as far as rising to the occasion.
Now, once again, y'all are going to be off another week. What are you going to be prepping for this week? What do you have in mind?
We're actually going to go down to Gainesville this
weekend. Okay.
Yeah, this weekend is Gainesville, off the next weekend.
Okay.
So like I said, we set up a few this past weekend. That this is kind of our dress rehearsal.
Okay.
Like the projected top 5 is going to give it a go this weekend, and we'll see how it shakes out.
And what do you know about the course down there?
Course is, I heard it's pretty flat. I heard it's very similar to what cross country is moving to, which is grass track, as I call it. But you'll be racing Florida State, Miami, Georgia Tech. The who's who of the South region. So it'll be a good chance for us to mix it up and kind of get rid of some of those jitters.
Now, Gainesville is known for its swampy conditions. It's very muggy, very hot, humid down there. It's similar to this, but I mean, do you make sure you talk about hydration, staying
constantly preach that, bring it. That's what I say. Like, we got a swamp here to train into. So, and everyone's going through the conditions. But yeah, prepping ourselves with the hydration, diet, and sleep is something that, is going to be consistent for this program, through and through.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck this coming up weekend down in Gainesville. And we'll talk to you next week. All right, stay tuned for more coming up on It's Tea Time. And welcome back to It's Tea Time, as we're going to take our final look at Troy sports, and we're going to talk a little bit about the volleyball team with the head coach of the volleyball team, and that's Coach Sonny Kirkpatrick. And Coach, y'all were in Auburn over the weekend, and after an 8-1 start to the year, not quite how you expected the weekend to turn out, losing all 3 matches to Auburn, South Florida, and Winthrop. What was different about the weekend?
We were into a little adversity before our first match on Friday, and had to kind of change things on the fly, and had people kind of moving in and out where they haven't been necessarily getting a lot of time. So we still did some good things on Saturday. Friday night was not our best by any means. We addressed that with the team and talked about it. But Saturday we put ourselves in potential chance to win the matches. Won the first game of both matches, were leading late in the second game of both matches and lost, and then ended up losing the matches in 4. So even with the adversity, we still gave ourselves opportunities to win. We just couldn't capitalize on it.
Now, I know you don't want to have these kind of learning experiences, but do you think it was a learning experience for your team?
Oh, absolutely. Again, we always say adversity shows character, doesn't build character. And we kind of showed our character at points, and we just have to keep getting better on our side of the ball.
Well, it's now time for the Sun Belt Conference schedule to start, and you start early, and you start tomorrow, Wednesday night, against Georgia Southern. That's here at home at 7 o'clock. What do you know about this Georgia Southern team?
They are much better than the record shows. They're on the scoreboard. They're 0-9, but they've played, I believe, 4 or 5 top 25 teams out of those 9 matches. Haven't played any easy matches by any stretch. A bunch of NCAA teams. So they're naturally, their record isn't indicative of how good they really are. They've got some really, really good players.
Now, you've got another tough kind of slate this weekend as you travel to Arlington, Texas on Friday, and then you come back Sunday to play a ranked team in Appalachian State here at home. So how are you planning out the weekend?
Just taking one match at a time. All of our focus, whether it be in film study or in practice, has been for Georgia Southern. That's the match we really have to focus on. And then after we get done playing them, pretty much immediately after we get done the match, we'll start breaking down video for Arlington. We have already got it. We just have to watch it.
Right.
And then probably on the way out to Arlington on Thursday morning, we'll make sure we're watching that and start breaking down a little bit of Appalachian State as well.
So when will y'all be getting back from Arlington on Friday? Will y'all leave immediately following the match on Friday?
No, there's no. We're flying direct from Montgomery to Dallas.
Okay.
So we've got an 8 o'clock flight on Saturday morning to get back here about 10:30, and then we'll probably go honestly straight to practice, get that taken care of, and do some film stuff and everything on Saturday to be ready for Sunday.
Now, this is a highly ranked Appalachian State team. Is this the highest ranked team to ever visit Troy?
I don't know if they're the highest ever to come to Troy, because Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee and even FIU, when they were all in the Sun Belt, were always ranked pretty high.
Okay.
I know at one point Middle Tennessee finished the year at number 15.
Okay.
So it'll be the lowest or the highest ranked team for a long time coming into Trojan Arena, and we would love nothing more than to give them their first loss of the season.
And I know you hope for a big turnout, which has been, you've seen a lot of fans come out early so far this year, and you hope to continue to see them come out.
Oh, absolutely. We had probably 40 to 50 people make the trip to Auburn.
Wow.
For us last Friday night, and I wish we would have played a little better for them to make that trip. But we can't thank our fans enough for the support that they've given us, and keep coming out. Tomorrow night we would love to have everybody in town come.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you, and good luck for this week and the rest of the Sun Belt schedule.
Thanks, Jonathan.
All right, and join us again next week for more on It's Tea Time.